Okay, here is the history project about the Great Depression, and now we have the best art teacher in the campus, Mr. Jordan. So, Mr. Jordan, how do you think about the President Hoover?
Well, first of all, I'm probably the best art teacher because I'm the only art teacher, right? No, just kidding. The Great Depression and Hoover, man, there's another reason why I'm an art teacher, because I really don't know too much about history or President Hoover.
President Hoover was a Republican before the Great Depression ensued. I know that he was only in office a short time before the crash happened.
I think President Hoover is partially, President Hoover is known as getting the blame for the Great Depression because it happened under his watch.
You know, a lot of people blame Herbert Hoover for causing the Great Depression, but I think that when you look at it and look at history, there were several causes.
What do I think about him? It's a little tough to say because I think the Depression overshadowed his presidency. There wasn't a whole lot that he could have done because the Depression was in place before his presidency really started. So he got all of the negative effects of the Depression, and he was kind of limited in what he could do about it. So in some sense, I feel sorry for him.
I hear he was the president during the Great Depression, and that he probably had a hard time trying to get us out of it. Didn't know what to do, and I guess FDR was a guy that helped, and I'm pretty certain that the Great Depression happened as a result of a crash of a stock market, I think in 1929, and poor people weren't having a very good time about then, and then so I guess maybe Hoover tried to do something about it and failed, and then FDR came into office, and I think he so I think whatever our presidents did, whatever they did, they're certainly bound to our Constitution, which sort of gives them the authority to do or make these choices in the first place. So I think, you know, that's a little bit off track from what do I think about Hoover, but so I don't know much about Hoover, but I certainly love living in the United States of America. God bless America.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan.
So, if I had to choose a president, I think Roosevelt responded better, and I agree with his policies more. But I do think it was very difficult for Hoover because he inherited a condition that was very difficult to deal with. He wasn't expecting it, and it's kind of hard to judge a presidency on all of the things that happened because of things that came before.
All right, cool. Thank you very much.
That's it?
Yes.
I know that while President Hoover's policies weren't that great, they did set the groundwork for the New Deal, and that is all I know about President Hoover. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. House.
I think it's unfair to put all the blame on him because obviously it's with the stock market and with businesses, and I think a lot of the blame should go to the Republican presidents that came before him, Harding and Coolidge. But ultimately, because he's the person in charge and he didn't do very much during the first 3 years of his presidency to stop the Great Depression, I think that some of the things that people think about him is warranted. Some of the problems that people, edit that last part out.
Cool, thank you.
Sure.
I think that the single most important thing that got this country out of the Great Depression was in fact World War II, in which we were forced to become productive and we got back on our feet again.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Liu.
You're welcome.